Are you on a diet but tired of eating chicken? Well, this high protein, one pot roast is exactly what you're looking for. Let's go over the ingredients. For this recipe, I'm using 3.5 pounds of chuck roast, 2 onions, roughly 9 carrots and a stalk of celery, some salt, pepper, dried rosemary, olive oil, and some butter. First, you're going to take your onion, you're going to chop it in half. I like to chop off the ends. That makes it easier for me to peel, like so. And then I like to place my onion down, and I like to chop it vertically with the root side on the top side and cut about 90% of the way up. The root then holds it together. All you have to do is give it a quick little spin and cut it in the opposite direction, and you end up getting these really nice and even diced onions. So you just want to work your way slowly to the top, and when you get there, just put it down like that and chop off the bits, scoop it up, and then put that on the side in a little bowl. Next, we'll take our celery stalk. You want to chop off the root end and just pick that up. You can throw that away, or you could save it for a vegetable stock. You're going to want to remove all the leaves from the celery stalks because we just want the celery stalks. And once that's all nice and cleaned up, I like to grab a bunch of them, maybe 4 or 5 of them, stack them up real nice like that, and just work my way down the celery stalk. So here we've sped it up. You can see I'm working very fast. And you're going to get nice, even diced celery stalks like so. Take our bench scraper and put that on the side. Finally, we're going to take our carrots, chop off the ends, and I like to stack them 2 facing down and 1 facing the other way. Line them up nicely with my knife, and then slowly work my way down the carrot. They do roll, so just be aware of that, and try to make sure none of them fall off your table. Scrape those up, and put those on the side. I like to put them all together in a large bowl and give them a good mix, so when we add them to the pot, there's a nice even spread of vegetables. Next up, we're gonna take our chuck roast, put that down nice and neat, give it a little love tap, make it all symmetrical. And we're gonna take our pepper, put a nice little layer on one side, rub that in, and then we're gonna go ahead and take a little handful of salt, sprinkle that on top. You can be generous with the salt here. You can use less salt if you're trying to cut your sodium. But chuck roast is such a large cut of meat that you really can't over salt it unless you're just dunking it in salt, but that would be kind of gross, so don't do that. We're going to take a Dutch oven and set that to medium-high heat. You're going to add in your olive oil, and once you see it slightly smoking, you're going to want to add in your chuck roast. Now we're just going to give it a nice browning, and that should take 5 to 7 minutes on each side. If you're not sure if it is or isn't brown, you can always take your tongs and take a little peek and see if it's to your liking. Now this is the sear that you're trying to go for. You could go for a higher crust if you'd like with higher heat, but I do not want my apartment smoking out, so medium-high works just fine for me. Then you're going to take it, pick it up, you can lean it on the edge of your Dutch oven and brown the outer rim of your chuck roast like so. Next up, you're going to take your mirepoix, which is the mix of vegetables that we had, add that into the pot, and the water content of the vegetables should release some steam, which will help release the brown bits at the bottom of the pan. You're going to want to stir fry this for about 3 minutes. I like to add a little bit of olive oil to help out with this, and I also like to top with a little bit more salt and a little bit more pepper. Again, you can adjust to your taste and your liking. Get back in there and scrape up as much of the brown bits as you can. Add your butter, and once that's melted, we're going to cook this for an additional 5 minutes, stirring occasionally. And once the 5 minutes are up, you're going to add in your dried rosemary and add back in your chuck roast. And we're going to put this into the oven. We have that set currently at 275, and it should take roughly around 3 hours to cook. So here is the final product. After 3 hours, the meat is looking super tender. The juices have run off from the chuck roast and seeped into our vegetables, have made them all nice and soft. Again, it's a high protein meal. The carbs from the vegetables are pretty minimal. And when I plated this up, it's off screen, but the meat was so tender, I just pulled it apart with ease using these tongs. Barely any effort made. Take a little spoonful of that mirepoix, add it right in between for the aesthetic effect, a little yin yang. And as far as sides go, you can use rice like I did, or you could use just the mirepoix if you're trying to go even lower carbs. Now, for the taste test, the meat was super tender, the vegetables were buttery and flavorful, and rice is just rice, nothing special about it. But yeah, if you're looking for something healthy, easy to make, you can't go wrong with this one pot roast. Thanks for watching, and I'll be making more content in the future. Please like and subscribe.